Greetings, friends of the universe. Today we are going to discuss Nikola Tesla's vision about human energy and 3 ways to actually increase your own energy. If you understand his principles, you will understand why Nikola Tesla was a vegan, why he was obsessed with free energy, and why he despised ignorance and imbeciles. Let's start. The most fundamental principle, the basic program of all life, is energy saving. Whatever you do, whatever you like, whatever feels good for you, it's just a psychological response that shows you how to be more energy efficient. Life yearns energy, and because of this, subconsciously, you'll always choose the path of least resistance. That's why high-calorie food tastes better. More calories means more energy. That's why whenever your beliefs are questioned, you naturally refuse any arguments. Changing the structure of your beliefs requires energy. That's why people feel more depressed when there is no sunshine outside. The sun is a powerful energy source. All default responses are just energy-saving reactions. However, a momentary energy waste can result in a more sustainable energy consumption in the future. This requires higher levels of intelligence. For this to be achieved, we must apply conscious effort in the right time and place. But what is the source of our energy? How can we gain more energy? How can we raise our consciousness and increase our intelligence? Nikola Tesla perfectly concluded what's the main, most fundamental source of human energy and how to increase our energy and evolve as species. More energy means higher levels of operating power for our consciousness. If you apply time to this equation, it means that the longer we sustain higher levels of energy for our consciousness, the more intelligence we download from the universe, the more intelligence we integrate into our being. So what's the source of our energy? First, let us ask, whence comes all the motive power? What is the spring that drives everything? We see the ocean rise and fall, the rivers flow, the wind, rain, and snow beat on our windows. The trains and steamers coming and going. We hear the rattling noise of carriages. We feel, smell, and taste. And all this movement, from the surging of the ocean to that subtle movement concerned in our thought, has but one common cause. All this energy emanates from one single center, one single source. The sun is the spring that drives everything. The sun maintains all human life and supplies all human energy. How to increase human energy? There are actually 3 steps. The first step is increasing the human mass. In order to increase the energy, we have to think in terms of speed. If there is a train and you add one more wagon, 3 things can happen. Either the wagon is of the same velocity as the train. In this case, the speed of the train will slightly increase. The wagon is with a smaller velocity. In this case, the whole train will decrease its speed. Or the wagon is of higher velocity. In this case, the whole train will significantly increase its speed. In Nikola Tesla's opinion, growing muscles is equivalent to adding mass of smaller velocity, and it's not recommended. But moderate exercise, ensuring the right balance between mind and body and the highest efficiency of performance, is of course a prime requirement. Food is one of the most important elements of increasing your mass. What we consider as food is just processed sunlight. Plants, with their photosynthesis, combine carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen and bind them through sunlight, forming the carbohydrate molecule we consume through food and burn for energy. However, the actual energy comes from freeing the photons of light between the chemical bond. That's what produces heat. That's what gives calories, stored photons. We eat sunlight for energy. Fruits, vegetables, meat, everything that we eat consumed the carbohydrate molecules that the plants created. The energy that we consume through food is actually the same sunlight that plants use to forge these elements together. If we eat meat, We are consuming already consumed, unused carbohydrate molecules, as the only place that they come is from photosynthesis. It's second-hand carbohydrate in a way. Consuming carbohydrate directly from plants, fruits, and vegetables is certainly equivalent to adding massive higher velocity. Nikola Tesla said, "It is certainly preferable to raise vegetables, and I think, therefore, that vegetarianism is a commendable departure from the established barbarous habit that we can subsist on plant food and perform our work even to advantage is not a theory, but a well-demonstrated fact. Many races living almost exclusively on vegetables are of superior physique and strength. There is no doubt that some plant food, such as oatmeal, is more economical than meat and superior to it in regard to both mechanical and mental performance. The consumption of second-hand food is one of the main limits we put on ourselves for evolving as a race into more intelligent, kind, and less animal-like species. To free ourselves from animal instincts and appetites which keep us down, we should begin at the very root from which we spring. We should effect a radical reform in the character of the food. Gambling, business rush, and excitement, particularly on the exchanges, are causes of much mass reduction. Whiskey, wine, tea, coffee, tobacco, and other such stimulants are responsible for the shortening of the lives of many and ought to be used with moderation. But I do not think that rigorous measures of suppression of habits followed through many generations are commendable. It is wiser to preach moderation than abstinence. To conclude, consume food that's closer to the sun, avoid unnecessary enlargements of your body that'll use more energy. Avoid energy-wasting habits and unhealthy addictions that serve solely to your ego. Each man who practices these advices adds a wagon with higher velocity to the human train. The second step is reducing the force that's retarding the human mass. The force which retards the onward movement of man is partly frictional and partly negative. To illustrate this distinction, I may name, for example, ignorance, stupidity, and imbecility as some of the purely frictional forces or resistances devoid of any directive tendency. On the other hand, visionariness, insanity, self-destructive tendency, religious fanaticism are all forces of a negative character acting in definite directions. A negative force always implies some quality, not infrequently a high one, though badly directed, which it is possible to turn to good advantage, but a directionless frictional force involves unavoidable loss. Evidently, then, the first and general answer to the above question is turn all negative force in the right direction and reduce all frictional force. Simply said, frictional force is ignorant, directionless, without a quality, unlike the negative force, which carries high quality, but in a wrong direction. Frictional force will result only in energy loss, no matter where it is directioned, while negative force can lead to significant increase of human energy if focused towards a proper strategic direction. There can be no doubt that of all the frictional resistances, the one that most retards human movement is ignorance. Not without reason, said that man of wisdom, Buddha. Ignorance is the greatest evil in the world. The friction which results from ignorance and which is greatly increased owing to the numerous languages and nationalities can be reduced only by the spread of knowledge and the unification of the heterogeneous elements of humanity. No effort could be better spent. Individually, this can be explained as maintaining constructive balance between our talents and flaws, establishing peace between our darkness and light, and uniting them towards a mutual greater goal. This, of course, needs to be accompanied with learning, curiosity, and reducing individual ignorance about the universe around us. Cleansing your chakras is as essential as taking a bath in the context of reducing the force that's retarding your energy. Allowing energy to flow freely through your own body ensures a reduction in friction. It decreases the waste of your energy with fighting the negative emotions that are clogging your energy pools. According to Nikola Tesla, war should not be terminated suddenly, as this can result in something worse than war. War is a negative force and cannot be turned in a positive direction without passing through the intermediate phases. It is a problem of making a wheel rotating one way, turn in the opposite direction without slowing it down, stopping it, and speeding it up again the other way. We shouldn't stop war, but redirect it towards a mutual goal of humanity. For example, instead of fighting ourselves, we can redirect our energy towards exploration of different parts of our galaxy. Of course, gently and gradually, with great maintenance. It is doubtful whether men who would not be ready to fight for a high principle would be good for anything at all. Nikola Tesla explains why war is not a frictional force, but one of a negative character. In his views, the future of war should result in reduction of manpower exchanged for machines that will take the hit. To see how this can happen, we must see how everything began. It started with the law of the strongest, where physically weaker men were thrown completely to the mercy of physically stronger men. However, the weaker men developed intelligence due to their energy efficiency and developed ways to use stones, sticks, and make weapons. Today, wars are held by men who smoke cigars, sitting in a room, completely controlling physical forces with their intelligence. The future will make the intelligence create machines and control them instead of men, until war is mainly intellectual and the physical factor is completely irrelevant. To conclude, use your talents to guide your flaws. Find peace and eliminate forces of friction with reason within and around yourself. The third step is to increase the force, accelerating the human mass. Of the three possible solutions of the main problem of increasing human energy, this is by far the most important to consider, not only because of its intrinsic significance, but also because of its intimate bearing on all the many elements and conditions which determine the movement of humanity. How do you increase the force that's moving the human mass? Simply spend more energy and spend it towards the most efficient possible direction. Our world is driven by machinery under a system created by our motive power. The mass of people is not moving chaotically, but systematically, following an order like a clockwork. If we decrease our motive, power will unintentionally be imprisoned by the same system we alone have created. That's why increasing the motive power is key in increasing the human energy. Constantly increasing the motive power will result in a constant increase of human energy. Motive power means work. To increase the force accelerating human movement means therefore to perform more work. But how can one man increase his energy constantly? Will there not be a point when the man cannot do more work? Will there not be a point when doing more work becomes harmful to the man, even unhealthy? There is a secret. When a man applies his effort so that when coming into effect, it will be in the direction of the collective human movement, the effort becomes most efficient, and with less energy, more is achieved. This means that as more people do more work towards a mutual goal, as more is achieved with less effort, resulting in increase of mutual energy. Think of it like spinning a wheel. At first, for only a fragment of its potential speed, you need a lot of effort and energy to even start moving the wheel. As you start moving the wheel and applying effort in the direction of its movement, as less effort it demands, and as faster it keeps spinning. In the end, with less effort than it was demanded from you to move the wheel, you spin it countless times faster. The same is with human energy. The secret of energy is that it is eternal in the universe. Your energy, no matter where you spend it, will forever stay and spread out if not directioned. That's why it's crucially important to focus your effort. As you spend your energy towards one direction, with time, this energy will accumulate, and less effort and energy you'll need to achieve a lot more. This is true globally and individually. To increase the force, accelerating human movement means to turn to the uses of man, more of the sun's energy. Imagine what we can accomplish if we all focus our efforts toward creating more sustainable ways of generating energy, cleaning the earth, reducing hunger, finding solutions for interstellar travel, educating. To conclude, focusing your motive power and effort on one goal towards the right direction of movement will accelerate the velocity with which you move closer to your goal. With time, you'll spend less effort and achieve more. Gain more, waste less, spend efficiently, learn. That's the secret formula for increasing the collective human energy, according to the great mind of Nikola Tesla. That's how we raise our intelligence and evolve as species. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and click the notification button to get notified for all our future videos.
That's all for now. Continue to do what you do. Coming forth day by day. Getting better and better. Not reaching anything. Continue.